you
from the
aware of this
PCOO.
presentation, sir?
Yes.
We have prepared slides of inaccurate news and fake news as well. This is for the information and also to aid us
Okay.
in this hearing, Madam.
Okay,
Chair.
so you are aware of this, and this is part of your presentation, PCO. Okay, go ahead, please.
Madam Chair, can I answer every slide para mas mapabilis po tayo? Is this
Kung
the
okay.
yeah.
Sige, sige, go,
yeah,
go.
first slide. Ito po ang example ng disinformation or fake news. Yeah, kailangan nyo nga talaga po ng training sec. The post was posted May of 2017. And then, the context of the post is that may sakit ang presidente noon, kaya sinama niya yung buong pamilya. And everyone was asking, bakit kasama? Di ba taxpayer money yan? And then I tweeted, sabi ko sa bagay, at least kung may mangyari sa kanya during that trip, kasama yung pamilya niya.
Oh, pero hindi naman, may mali siya pa rin doon. Alam naman natin. O sige,
Yeah, I mean,
yun na yung
but-
justification mo, mali pa rin yun. Okay,
Yes,
next.
but it's not a fake news.
No, we're not saying that.
Yeah,
We're
yes,
talking about...
But why it was presented there,
No.
Madam Chair?
Okay, we're talking about the conduct. Okay, no. Okay, so fine. Look, kayo rin naman may mga below the belt. I mean, and you should be called out for those things that you say that are wrong. So you have, may pangil ka rin. Okay, next. Okay, so paano to? Hindi naman ikaw yan eh, no?
Yeah, it's the president who
Pero,
said
yeah,
that Bongo
that's
is a
not your blog.
billionaire.
Okay, thank
That's
you.
my blog, ma'am.
Blog mo
ko po
rin?
yan. Yeah.
Okay.
I
Paano-
was quoting the president saying na Bongo is billionaire.
Oo, actually parang narinig ko rin yun eh, di ba? Okay, so okay lang yun, di ba? Okay, next.
But not in connection with the
The scandal.
Huh?
Not with the scandal, yung context nung statement ni
Oh,
President.
hindi kaya nga. So, di ba, this is actually what we're learning here. We're learning.
Madam
That you
Chair?
Madam-
Madam Chair,
Madam-
siguro pwede pa-explain natin muna sila Secretary Andanar kung paano naging fake news yung pinopost nila. Siguro bago siya sumagot.
Okay.
Bongo, hindi lang selfie king. Ang pagkasulat kasi niyan ay very malicious, ma'am eh. That's very malicious. Pakialamero din. So anong ibig sabihin nito? Anong gustong hiwatig ni Ms. Jover sa sambayanan? And of course, let us also take into consideration that these types of posts, ito yung nag-iengganyo ng mga hate messages eh. Itong mga post na ganito eh.
But it's not fake news. It's a hate post.
Hate post. Hate post. Hate post, and it could be fake news.
Your Honor. Madam Chair?
Okay. You first, because, yes.
Madam Chair, if I may comment, since I'm a lawyer, this is not hate speech, Your Honor. This is precisely legal opinion. This is political opinion, Your Honor. And precisely, it's within the protection of the right to freedom of expression.
No one's disputing that. But this is what we're trying to prove here. Eh. Both sides of the camp are kind of guilty also of perpetuating their beliefs in a way that can be offensive if you are on the other side of the fence.
Yes, Your
with
Honor.
regards
But
this.
it is a dictum of freedom of expression advocacy that the antidote to speech that we hate is not less speech, but more speech, Your Honor. Therefore, if some quarters of our political society are against this post, this opinion, the antidote, Your Honor, is to post another opinion on that.
Okay.
Not to actually self-censorship.
No.
not
we're
to
not-
actually
we're not-
I
file
agree.
anything
I agree.
against.
This is we're not going to curtail this. We're not going to say, "Hoy, okay, mag-post ng ganyan." We can only appeal and say, "Okay, just be kind, if you can, be magnanimous if you can." But it should not be a choice when you're in government. You should always carry a higher standard. That's the only thing.
Yes, Your
Yung,
It's now, yours not.
hindi
Okay.
naman, wala naman kami sinasabi, attorney, kasi yung context kasi nun, in-explain na ni Special Assistant to the President na wala nga siyang kinalaman at hindi siya nakialam. So ang nakalagay doon, pakialamero din. So it's implying that pakialamero si Sapbong. So therefore, ang tanong ko kay Jovi, have you called him up and asked him kung talagang nakialam siya?
Ay, wala po kasi akong contact sa kanya, sir.
Okay.
At saka po, binase ko po yung blog na yan
Saan?
sa documents na kung saan meron pong si Sec Lorenzana na meron pong post-it doon na this is from Bongo and all.
At sinagot
Saka-
na yon ni Secretary Lorenzana at sinabi niya na hindi niya na matandaan at sinabi din ni Vice Admiral Mercado na never nakialam si Sapbongo.
Well, when I was writing that, sir, wala pa po. So,
Because that's the problem. Wala kasing vetting eh. Yun ang problema.
Ibang Rappler, may
Madam
rilabas din yung may writing dun sa margins nung how are you able to verify? Is that true news?
Oh, sorry.
About the meddling and
Delphine Lorizanda, our
the Navy.
Secretary of Defense actually confirmed the document. And
The
also-
Secretary of
yeah,
the name is at the Secretary Lorenzana.
Secretary Lorenzana confirmed it. I mean, we can tweet it, guys, if you're
Okay.
on. Just tweet the links to the articles. But can I, ma'am, since Senator Poe, since you have, I think for me what's astounding listening is that there seems to be an inability to distinguish between professional behavior and accountability for government officials and free speech in many instances. So I hope no offense on this one, sir. I think that in the earlier one, it's about professionalism. Any office, particularly a government office that's in charge of the reputation of the government, that is in charge of communicating to the public, actually should have its own standards and ethics for your own employees. I've been an employee for many, many years of different organizations, and they've actually always told us, when I was with CNN, I couldn't get a haircut without letting my boss know. That doesn't curtail your freedom. It doesn't curtail freedom of speech. And particularly for a government official, echoing Robbie, there is no difference between personal and professional because that's...
It's implying that pakialamero si Sapbong. So therefore, ang tanong ko kay Jovi, have you called him up and asked him kung talagang nakialam siya?
ay, wala po kasi akong contact sa kanya, sir.
Okay.
At saka po, binase ko po yung blog na yan
Saan?
sa documents na kung saan meron pong si Sec Lorenzana na meron pong post-it doon na this is from Bongo and all.
At sinagot
Saka-
na yon ni Secretary Lorenzana at sinabi niya na hindi niya na matandaan at sinabi din ni Vice Admiral Mercado na never nakialam si Sapbongo.
Well, when I was writing that, sir, wala pa po. So,
Because that's the problem. Wala kasing vetting eh. Yun ang problema.
Ibang Rappler, may
Madam
rilabas din yung may writing dun sa margins nung how are you able to verify? Is that true news?
Oh, sorry.
About the meddling and
Delphine Lorizanda, our
the Navy.
Secretary of Defense actually confirmed the document. And
The
also-
Secretary of
yeah,
the name is at the Secretary Lorenzana.
Secretary Lorenzana confirmed it. I mean, we can tweet it, guys, if you're
Okay.
on. Just tweet the links to the articles. But can I, ma'am, since Senator Poe, since you have, I think for me what's astounding listening is that there seems to be an inability to distinguish between professional behavior and accountability for government officials and free speech in many instances. So I hope no offense on this one, sir. I think that in the earlier one, it's about professionalism. Any office, particularly a government office that's in charge of the reputation of the government, that is in charge of communicating to the public, actually should have its own standards and ethics for your own employees. I've been an employee for many, many years of different organizations, and they've actually always told us, when I was with CNN, I couldn't get a haircut without letting my boss know. That doesn't curtail your freedom. It doesn't curtail freedom of speech. And particularly for a government official, echoing Robbie, there is no difference between personal and professional because that's a government official. I can't imagine Senator Soto doing something privately and then saying publicly, I can't, that wasn't me. So I think that's the first one, and then it's about a level of professionalism that you'd hold the people in PCOO to. And then the second part is just if you create a vacuum, if you don't exercise that power and then have a kind of plausible deniability about who can, like in Undersecretary Badoy's situation, when you draw the line between your personal and your professional role, it's a disservice to your office and also a disservice to your own personal goals. I think part of it is in that instance where you said that you're going to, I'm sorry, maybe I shouldn't be saying this. It's just shocking that we're at a very basic definition of what professional government service means and what the expectations are. And perhaps that's the difference. That's the core difference in the way we approach everything.
Okay. Thank you. I guess we go back again to this distinction of a private individual and a government official. I mean, we go back to that. But I think Senator Soto has
Yes, Madam
something
Chair,
to add.
I hope you don't mind. But earlier, when we were monitoring the hearing, and some of my staff members were monitoring the hearing, we heard a resource person say that the NBI Cybercrime Division can make hocus-pocus report, something to that effect. So, and that Kokoy Dayo is they can show that Kokoy Dayo is the registered owner of Silent No More, when actually he is not. That was, I think, the statement that was made. Can we ask the NBI to respond to this comment that was made, allegation against you?
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. I was supposed to raise the issue earlier, but because of so many issues raised before, I wasn't able to do so. First of all, I would like to inform that we filed the case before the city prosecutor of Pasay City, a cyber libel case against Mr. Dayaw. It was docketed there. The preliminary investigation progress, and we were informed that it was submitted for resolution. We are awaiting the result of resolution, but for purposes of presentation here, I can comment that we have proven that Kokoy Dayaw is the managing director and editor-in-chief of propinoy.net. Therefore, it follows that he has the authority to act on behalf of the owner of the website, or is the owner himself. He likewise admits that he is the editor-in-chief thereof, which means that he is the website's editorial decision maker. So as to his liability, if it will be proven that this propinoy.net is registered in his name, there is no doubt as to the personality or the subject of our investigation. If we want a complete presentation of the digital forensic laboratory examination made by the NBI, we can present it here, but considering that the case is pending issuance of resolution, I don't want to be cited in contempt in that proceedings. But
So
we can ask for
therefore, the allegation that you can make hocus pocus is not true.
fake news, sir, Your Honor.
Huh?
That's
It's
a
not
fake
true.
news, Your
It's
Honor.
not true. Yun ang fake news.
Yes, Your Honor.
Usos talaga sa kanila yun eh.
We can present the result of the digital forensic examination in executive session if the senators would wish to do it. Thank you very much.
Actually, Senator Soto, one of the interviews with the then Secretary Abella, he was asked about trolls, and he said, wala naman kaming trolls, meron kaming social media warriors. I think he mentioned that. And he mentioned the name Mick Abunada. Are you familiar with him? Is he employed? Gabonada. So he was mentioned as one of those involved in the social media warriors group of this administration. Is that true, or are you familiar with him, Ms. Banaag?
I've met Mr. Nick Gabunada once, Madam Chairman, but I'm not so familiar with Mr. Nick
So
Gabunada.
why was
And
his name mentioned by Secretary Abella as belonging to the social media warriors of this administration?
I would not really know the context as to which the Secretary, Undersecretary Abella then mentioned his name, Senator.
Mr. Lopez, yeah, you have something to add.
Madam Chair, Mr. Gabonada is like Mr. Armand Nokum. He's a like a PR.
Is he employed by this administration? Do you know?
I'm not sure now,
But
but
do you see him when you have bloggers meetings?
not now.
Before?
But during the campaign, he
During
was
the
active.
campaign. So, Mr. Secretary Andanar, is he still under your employ?
No, Madam Chair. I met Nick Gabonada after the president's oath taking, and he's not under our office.
Okay. Senator Soto, Senator Binay, do you have anything else to add before we do
Well,
a
just
closing?
one final question. What is our recourse, or what is the recourse of people if a website or a social media company or group do not want to take down their fake news? What is our recourse?
Perhaps the NBI can answer this. Or maybe, wala ang Facebook, kaya pinapatawag na natin for the next. Miss Panelo, very quickly.
Yes po. Kasi I'm
Where are
from
you
the
again?
NUJP po, National Union of Journalists of the Philippines.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes. I'm taking from the report of the NBI na pwede pala po silang mag-track down ng mga websites. Kasi meron po kaming app